What up, my freaks? RuinusInsight here with part 15 of my Total War Warhammer 3 modded Settra, Great King, the Imperishable, Khemri Kara, the Great King of Nehekara, King of Kings, Opener of the Way Wielder of the Divine Flame, Punisher of Nomads, the Great Unifier, Commander of the Golden Legion, Sacred of Appearance, Bringer of Light, Father of Hawks, Builder of Cities, and many, many more campaigns. So as we saw last time, we got ourselves the hardest battle in the campaign so far as King Lamazasha's Ushabti and, well, some skeleton archers took on the army of Nicolander, the Blade of Skalaril, who held one of the Books of Nagash here. It was a heck of a fight against a super high tier army with everybody at rank 9 veterancy, and King Lamazas just barely managed to make it work, though he did lose one of his necrotects, 3 of his melee Ushabti, and if these two survive, I should probably give them names. In fact, let's give them names right now. And he lost a bunch of stuff is what I'm getting at. You will be Hundman, and you will be Hakor's hackers. And there we go. Let's say on loan from Hakor, who has already have 2 named Ushabti in his own army. Also, since we lost the Necrotect, we should get him back, and Cape Carpentaria is the closest place, so we'll need another Genius Architect on the way ASAP. Alright, and let's get you Canopic Jar Hoarder. For obvious reasons, restore Stone Shaper, Wrath of the Creator, and I'm gonna say immediately into Strengthened Incantations for those additional buffs. Otherwise, we will get to the Master Bone Giant sculpture as soon as we can. Let's also give you Disciple of Sokth for that Scorpion armor, and then move through Inscription of Repair. Sadly, the Dune Restoration didn't work for any of our units, despite the fact that we had several books and 2 Necrotects here. Oh well, useless. Anyway, let's see what we got. Well, actually, we'll see if King Lamazar survives here, because he's in a pretty dangerous place and fairly far from our own territories as well. Who has not moved before we get going? Oh, you know what we could do with Rakash? Rakash, I'd like you to move right here and raid the place, just because it'll give us the opportunity to get a little bit of extra XP. Raiding does have its uses. Not so much for the money here for us, but for the character XP gain plus 250 per turn. We are trying to get you up to rank 15, and we got a few more turns until we can declare war on these guys, plus we're waiting for the recruitment from Seheket. Oh, and also we got Katep on the field last time. Well, not on the field, but recruited Confederated last time around as well. Setep, I believe. Yeah, you guys can just keep raiding. Yeah, you could keep raiding. Well, you know what? You can actually maybe close here, because you can grab the... You can grab the War Sphinxes and then just move southward afterwards. And it's not like the Ogres are going to be a threat to set up. It's not like he needs your support here. Jocht is going to need to move, and he will, I'm going to say, set himself up in ambush stance, trying to move towards Spinetail and hope that Spinetail doesn't move southward towards Ashmere, which would be quite annoying. Alright, and I think, unless I'm mistaken, that's all we gotta do, right? Let's see. I mean, I guess we could auto-resolve this if we wanted to, but it's not a big deal. We'll see about the enemy attacking. There is also some switcheroo to be doing. We do want to try to vassalize these guys. I did do one switcheroo between the episodes. I traded Reek Marsh for Dragonhorn Mines, which we can hopefully use to vassalize the Golden Order, but only after we try to grab the giant stomping grounds from these guys, so that we can grab Gortusk Camp and Splintered Bone Camp from these guys, so that we can also vassalize the Order of the Winter Sun. Let them all just sit in the Badlands as our vassals and provide their units to our armies. Anyway, skip, and I really hope I'm not forgetting anything, because we ended that turn. Go. Crone Hellebron wants peace. You know what? Maybe that's a good idea. It'll keep the, it'll keep this territory safe. Why not? Peace out. Alright, and it looks like Rapunce will indeed attack us, but decisive victory and low casualties. I know it's 2 stacks, but it's mostly garbage peasants, and Panet's already defeated similar stacks before, but better. So I think this is a waste of our time. We can do better. We can find better. Yeah, no need to fight low casualty weak battles, especially after that epic fight last episode. Let's find better ones. Huh. Alright, I wasn't expecting that. The Tzeentchans are going to... Okay, I know that this one has low casualties and decisive victory, but this one tempts me. I mean, we haven't really fought Tzeentch, and it's kind of an interesting foe for Warhammer. I think we're gonna do this one. Do it. Alrighty, here we go. Tzeentchan enemies. Should be a pretty fun fight, I'd wager. While the enemy does not have too many flamers, as in the units that would be the most devastating to us, they are all still primarily fire damage and thus still very threatening to all of our fire-weak units, with the exception of the constructs. Kind of hard to burn stone, but anyway. And the battle will begin as we move our Spokal Stalkers up front and begin firing away with those shotgun blasts at the enemy spawn. Spawn of Tzeentch and SFO are the most numerous, but thus the least sort of healthy, as in the least amount of HP per unit, which I guess is kind of the same issue that we have with our chariots. They have more numbers than other chariot factions do, but they are very fragile by virtue of it. Anyway, the Spokal Stalkers quickly drop the first of the enemy spawn and move to obliterate the Centaurs of Tzeentch, which unfortunately flee the battlefield, as by the looks of it the enemy deployed rather close to the edge, being in this corner waiting for their own reinforcements to arrive. Whether they arrive and see any of their other units here remains to be seen. Let's start moving on, and the Tomb Guard are marching in relatively safe square formations, as again the enemy has no flames to punish us for it, or at the very least no flamers. They might have pink fires of Tzeentch and blue fires available to them, but that's probably not going to be enough. Now, as we can see, it looks like the enemy melee troops, the Zangors and the others, are fleeing from our advancing Tomb Guard, but they're not so much fleeing as trying to close the distance with the Spokal Stalkers, which simply charged through them as soon as they had dealt with the enemy spawn, and have closed the distance with the enemy pink horrors. Might as well not let them fire away at us. Wakaf has closed the distance as well, but mostly with the big enemy blob as the Herald of Tzeentch is flying overhead, and there is little we can do about it. We pop up an Usek's Incantation of Desiccation on the blob of enemies here. It is a fairly wide area of effect, and a minus 25 melee defense means we can send many a demon flying and tear them to shreds. At least the Spokal Stalkers are having a lot of fun. And now that the Tomb Guard have also closed the distance with the enemy range, they're going to have a pretty hard time dealing with us. Otherwise, we make sure to turn the remaining enemy units of spawn such that our skeleton horse archers can pincushion them by firing into their backs. And then the other elements can just chase enemies down as well. Looks like this particular fight is going our way. Ooh, our pyramids do look great with those corrupt Tzeentchian skies, though, not gonna lie. And, Spirit Leech. Spirit Leech on one of our Spokal Stalkers. Who has a Spirit Leech here? I see a Chaos Sorcerer, Lord of Metal. Oh, we have bound Spirit Leech on the enemy Iridescent Horror. Well, good for it, I suppose. Not that that's going to do too much to the Spokal Stalkers here. And just out of curiosity, what do they have in terms of spell resistance? 10%, really? Huh. Alright, I guess we haven't leveled the Necrotechs in this particular army enough to give them additional spell resistance? Or does that spell resistance... Oh, it might not be conferred to Spokal Stalkers and only work on the big boys. Well, either way, I still don't think it's going to do all that much damage. And either way, the balance of power is at about 90% in our favor, and the enemy is not long for this world, which is often true of demons being banished and all that. And just gotta cut down the last of the spawn and pincushion the enemy lord, who drops out of the sky. There is another iridescent horror floating up there, but we should be able to work on it with those skeleton horse archers. Its barrier drops, its banishment has begun, and in seconds the battle will be completely ours. Probably speed this up a fair amount by having these solid stone snakes make sure that they get a few more shotgun blasts out. And down goes the little fella. Alright, there we are. With that, the first battle against the forces of Tzeentch here is ours. Although I expect there'll be a fair few more. Alright, there we go. Fun little fight against the Tzeentchans, and especially as an opponent that we haven't as yet faced off against in this particular campaign, though as we head towards the 9th library, or whatever it is, that holds one of the books of Nagash, we'll encounter them a couple more times, I'm sure. Endless March, please. Gotta get there faster, after all. Ooh. What do we have in terms of the capabilities here? Ooh, 27,000 damage on one of the unnamed unit of Sepulchral Stalkers. Oh, right, we named all the ones in Khalid's army instead of in this one, which, you know, makes sense. As for the units of Tomb Guard, it looks like it's effectively a tie between the Marrow Legion and the Undying Guard. Good for them. Endless March. Ooh, and it looks like the remnants of this army get caught, and we could just auto-resolve them. There isn't really much left here. Icon of the Sacred Eye. Huh, wait, why did you... 1, 2, 3... Huh. Did we just have an extra one that I didn't put on anybody? I guess we did. Alright, well, whatever. Auto-resolve these guys. And there we go. Well done. Lamazage survives, because they should have been at the end of the sort of pile of units that move. We're going to need the extra march stance, or speed, so let's end this march. Alright, there we are, and it does look like they do live to fight another day. Eyes of the Jungle destroyed, Agents of the Moon missions. Oh, wow, look at all those mission successfuls. Very nice, and seasoned campaigner for Lamazage. Lovely as well. Dust Road secured, which we'll take a look at in a second. I want to take new missions. Volkmar the Grim, about to be Volkmar the Dead, and not in a good way, as in not in the undead way. Volkmar and Volkmar, yes. Province Dust Road. Oh, I should have looked over there. You know what? Just because I know I'm going to forget, let us go immediately to Dust Road, which is you, and then pop into the Worship of Construction Reduction. Doom Mountain besieged. Oh, it looks like they will indeed besiege. Kill them. Gotta deliver these units to their army. Alright, goodbye rats at long, long last. Alrighty, and then you can, I guess, end this march, because you're... Well, you know what? Hey, there's the Herald of Xandri, which we're definitely going to need. I wonder... We maybe make a little bit of a detour down to Brittle Peaks. I wonder if this faction actually has armies around. They are at fighting... they are at fighting. I tried to say they are fighting and they are at war at the same time, but anyway. I think we'll make a brief stop there with Jocht, and then move back to start on that Petra sort of army. Anyway, what was I going to do that was important to you? Lamazage. You're going to go into Entomb Beneath the Sands. You're going to move away from those... you're going to move away from those Norskins. Like so. Then, you are going to make use of global recruitment to get back to Shabti with regular... with Kopesh's, and one who's Shafty with great bow. And admittedly, it would be faster to just build a pile of infantry and archers and stuff here. You know what? Maybe we'll spend one turn to at least... I still don't know whether we're actually keeping skeleton archers in this army, but, you know, they'll serve their purpose here, at least for now. And then we can spend the other 3 turns. Alrighty, and then Mr. Cat, you're gonna go down here. Alrighty, ooh, also, let's do a Necrotect check. Genius Architect is nice, so we will need it, but it's not what I was looking for. Charioteer Cavalier I did want, but we're waiting for a little bit until we have the other higher level versions. Anyway, you've stopped moving. Let's pick our new tech, and it's going to be Ancient Battle Sites with the additional ammunition and reload for Screaming Skull Catapults and Caskets of Souls, and gotta prepare for Katep to get on field with those bonuses. Next, King Thotep is going to swap out the birds and swap in 1, 2, 3, 4 war sphinxes, leaving him 16 out of 20 troops. 1 jet line per Khemrian war sphinx, and we need 1 tomb prince per little combo as well, so that they can sort of travel independently. Alright, so we have a perfect 10 number of constructs here, which means we don't theoretically need another Necrotech, though we are looking to get 3 more Tomb Princes, so we could also get another Lich Priest as well. Huh. That's interesting. Either way, we can summon heroes wherever we damn well please, so you are going to start moving. Hey, really? You're gonna have to go all the way around like that? Okay, no, just go out to sea. Land at Ash Crossing, and then you're headed down to Qatar. It's about time. It's long overdue. Granted, it's not been critical, but, you know. Anyway, you are going to keep those other Khemri and War Sphinxes for other territories, and we need 1 more Carrion, which we cannot build here and can only build globally. Well, screw you too, game. We're going to need... Let's see. I think at least a few more Tomb Barks. So let's start building them for the Tomb Fleet, like so. And we'll keep an eye on our canopic jars and hopefully raise another army soonish. Anyway, Settra. Okay, actually, you are going to go hit Skull Crag. Settra, I'm going to reinforce in a second. You've got another book to find, hopefully with a similarly nice battle for you. For now, though, move towards Skull Crag. Reinforce, and then go down to Sour Bay. And maybe we'll take Nagashazar just because we're near it. I don't know, I'll think about it. How many territories do you have? Just the 2? That should be easy at least. Oh, and they're Badlands, so they're actually green territories here. Huh, that's interesting. Go figure. Oh, Nagashazar is a green territory as well. Yeah, fine. We can do this and then link up with the soon-to-be vassalized Knights of Kalador while Khalida goes north to fight the Challengers of Khorne and see just how undefeated Mr. Arbol proves to be. Settra, you're going to switch to Channeling. Alcazar, you're going to hit Skullcrag. We will auto-resolve this for obvious reasons. And you know what? Lose the... Okay, I'm going to... Okay, let's just occupy. Our 2 chariot armies working together. Isn't it beautiful? Okay, Charnel Valley, Necrotech. Okay, not on you. I don't care about you. I care about leaving the Scarecrow banner for the army with the Carrion. Settra, move slightly forward. Oh, I guess we're going to have to go through Mork's Club, eh? Well, I guess we could send you up there while Settra moves southward. Yeah. Oh, we should probably take a few of these mountain territories anyway to trade to Teclis to trade for some stuff. I got a plan, guys. The plan is there, and don't you worry. Nobody panic. Panet. Nobody panic. Everybody panet. Anyway, you are going to head to Library of Hereptus. I guess this way, it doesn't really matter. What I want to do is take it from these guys and then trade it to the... Whoa, no, don't trespass. Yeah, this is the wrong territory, so go here. I want to vassalize the Cult of Mordig. Oh, and we're probably going to have to work for it. These guys have several armies here. Ooh, can you even win against those? Well, you're about to find out. Good luck, Panet. I'm not getting another army. You, Wakaf, are going to hit the Portal of Twilight. To where I assume the other guys retreated, indeed, whereas the... Ooh, wait, stop. I notice you, Portal of Twilight, are about to be upgraded to Tier 5, meaning if we wait here for the turn... Tomb Beneath the Sands? If we wait here for the turn, we can take it at Tier 4, which is the much better option. And then we'll use this as a sort of defensive location. We'll build it up to be really defensive while we head towards the 9th library with Walk-Up. I mean, who else? What other champion of our faction do we have that we could send on such a dangerous mission into the realm of Tzeentch himself? Anyway, you Hakor, you need to go and kill some orcs up there, so you're going to travel this way. It's really faster to cross like this. Yeah, fair enough. Cross it is. And Dragonhorn Mines, we will immediately be building military structures here for the purpose of hopefully confederating these guys. Just out of curiosity. Not yet, but it will become more and more valuable with time. I'd also like to take Thief Snatch's fort away from these guys if possible, because it kind of bothers me that... or maybe Nakar... Well, no, that's actually unlikely. And Thief Snatch's fort is kind of more near to their turret. Okay, you know what, I'm not gonna... Yeah, I'm not fixing the border gore. At least not that much. Not on this particular campaign. Anyway, Rakash is fine. Scorpion King, you will quickly auto-resolve Mr. Volkmar, who has no hope of survival here. Unless the auto-resolve says no to this. It'll kill off our Scorpions, because magic. Well, you know what, you haven't fought a lot of Imperials, and these guys... Wait. As the defenses, battles here will be unwalled settlements. We could just move on in and fight them. It's an unwalled settlement after all. Or we could let them sally out and fight it in the field. Both would be fine. I'll think about it. Let's see what else we've got in terms of availability in this particular turn. Khalida, you're going to take the House of Everlasting Life real quick. These guys are rapidly running out of territory now. What was it? Are you frickin' kidding me? Again? It's still doing this. Okay, maybe it'll stop doing that once we have 2 tomb barks, but it's really infuriating. Anyway, I really want Lamia to be upgraded. I'd love to be able to build these things here. No way to significantly speed it up without building Pyramidians, though. And that'll be a fair amount of the growth out of the picture. This can't speed it up. We could actually, in theory, speed it up via the Worship of Petra. I just want Khalida not to waste like 6 turns recruiting while she's busy. Yeah, you know what? Maybe forget. You know what? Build 1 Pyramidian. Well, no, then we'd have to commit, wouldn't we? Wait. The first level gives us... Well, it does actually give us 30 on the first level. Maybe it is still worth it. Alright, let's upgrade the port at the very least, because it'll give us slight increase to growth. Then I guess we will build the spices. We'll build 1 level of Pyramidian. And then we'll actually switch you to the Worship of Petra for the additional growth rate. Yeah. Alright, and you hit the House of... Alright, fine. Manual fight, ultra quick, I hope. That's exactly what I'm talking about, the auto-resolve being absolutely ridiculous. This is like this... Well, it's not the first time this has happened, but... we don't even have walls here. In what world would you have... I know that the AI loves to focus these things. You're even in stock. This thing even has a stock. How? How would they kill it? I don't know. And especially considering it's doing it to support units, which you would, generally speaking, be trying to keep safe, wouldn't you? Is it just me? Am I the crazy one? I don't know. I also wish that Khalida had Vanguard deployment. It's kind of silly that she doesn't, but all of her units do. Like, all the other Snake units have the Vanguard deployment, but Khalida does not. Oh well. 2. Necrotex, we're gonna need you forward. You guys can start marching forward as well, though frankly I'm not sure that it matters that much. Yeah, you could charge on. Well, actually go here. Alright, that looks good to me. You Necrotex are going to be needed to be up there. You can move forward and, I don't know, fire away at something. And Necrotex, I'm going to make you... I was going to say make you into a group, but it probably doesn't matter very much. Alright, go. Go. You guys charge on in. Khalida, go. Fortunately, you're so quick that it doesn't matter that you don't have the Vanguard deployment here. Kill off one of the enemy units of range. Charge on through. We don't have the healing, but that should be fine. Not like the Venom Knights of SF will concern themselves. Or be too concerned with it. Alright, there we go. Delete the enemy range units, which are the major threatening units, whereas the melee units should be taken care of by the rest. Where are the Necrotechs? I would like you to heal up the Venom Knights. And I would like to heal this thing. Then Khalida, you can go for the Empire Captain. Alright, and then rear charge what remains of this. You charge what remains of these crossbows. You can actually stop firing, because I'm afraid that you're going to hurt us more than you're going to hurt the enemy. Hey. You leave the Tomb Prince alone. Well, I was about to say leave the Tomb Prince alone. Maybe it doesn't matter all that much. Alright, speed it up to max, and... yeah, there you go. Resolve. Just silliness. At least it didn't take more than a couple seconds. It's not like Khalida's army is unbalanced or anything. Like, we got short range, we got infantry to move on in, we got cavalry, and it's probably buffed up to a pretty insane degree, so I don't know what's up with it. Oh, actually, that reminds me. If we want Khalida to build a couple of the Necroserpent Riders, the Necropolis Knights... Come on, Ruinous. You've said it like 50,000 times this campaign. How are you forgetting this? Yeah, we maybe should build the building there as well. To speed matters up. +3 Bone Giants, and then whatever else we have room for. Possibly the Tomb Bark. We'll see. If we have 2 Tomb Barks in the army and they still get destroyed by the auto-resolve, we'll just delete them. They're not critical to the army. I just figured it might be nice to have them as a support, especially if we can Vanguard deploy them forward. Anyway, Cursed City, we'll build you. And this doesn't increase construction time, so you're free to build it. Public order, we could increase it slightly with scholarly purity, but it's probably not worth the jars because we have other purposes. Alright, who's next? King Setup? Okay, no, you're raiding for 4 more turns? I don't remember. Keepers are fine where they are. Intef is alright, and Scout. You will go through the river, and let's see how these guys feel about us. Actually, I was about to say let's get the trade agreement going, but no, we're waiting. We're waiting for the vassal trade agreement. As in, potentially with these guys. Oh, right, I started to say this, I think it was last episode or earlier this episode, I don't remember. The thing about these guys is, while we may not want vampiric units, ghostly units, spirit units, Cairn Wraiths, Spirit Hosts, Hex Wraiths, and Mortis Engines are very much things that would work nicely with our units. As well, it's not like the Tomb Kings are strangers to spirit binding, even if they don't have a vampiric units and all that sort of corrupty stuff. So yeah, I mean, we got plenty of, Screaming Skull Catapults and Caskets of Souls. I see the bitter spirits of the desert should join our faction. Should make for a couple of other additional army compositions, assuming that, you know, interest in the campaign will remain at that point. What do we have in terms of anybody else? Nothing? I think nothing. So, wait. I guess we could attack with a U. You know, let's do the building, and then let's attack. Well, you know what? Let's just attack first, then we'll do the building. Because we'll get a little bit of a cash out of this, right? Why not? I'm still kind of on the fence between unyielding for 10% HP and spell resistance and armor when defending. The thing is, we're rarely defending, so we'll rarely get the chance to do this. Though on the other hand, if this army is so hated by the auto-resolve, it's distinctly likely that this army might be defending more than other armies by besieging enemy settlements and forcing them to come out and attack us, which might give martial discipline a little bit better value than it would in other armies. Although again, it wouldn't be every time around. And it certainly wouldn't help with the auto-resolve, which I guess is another issue. This is 1,000 extra HP for our lord. You know what, screw it, I'm still going to go with unyielding. Alright, then Necrotect, you... we could increase mobility, but I'm going to say it's time to start powering up those scorpions. There you go, you had 3 points. Look at these little fellas. Now they're going to hit a little bit harder. And, oh, you know what? Oh. You know what, let's save the canopic jars. I was going to give the scorpions some banners, but I'd rather save the jars for now because it'll mean another army soon. Okay, you know what, screw the magical reserves. Let's go doubling up on Sekhmet's Incantation of Sandstorm. Skullstorm, whatever. And let's mosey on in and bring Volkmar the Grim down one more time. Last time, not by Khalida, but at this point she's lost interest in his capabilities. Go. Alrighty, here we go. Oh, I like the sarcophagus and the I don't know. Are these actually interred guys on the side of the on the War Sphinx? It does look pretty great, though, I gotta say. Anyway, as I was saying, here we go. The last stand of Volkmar the Grim, whose crusade into the lands of the dead is going to meet an ignominious end. I believe he also wanted to get the Books of Nagash, and I don't think that's happening either. Anyway, we're going to start the battle off by knocking out the enemy shooting tower, whatever kind of tower it was, and then proceeding to hose down the enemy swordsmen with those cursed skulls of ours, and a few arrows from our bone giants as well, followed up by the scorpions charging in. Why did the scorpions not charge immediately? We had to wait until our mage closed the distance and popped off a skullstorm on this unit of handgunners so that they could not fire down into our dreadnoughts below. Oh, there we go. Alright, and with the swordsmen fleeing, our scorpions, together with the War Sphinx, closed the distance with that barricade, and together with the damage from the skullstorm, rapidly bring it down. Alright, that does mean, however, as soon as it pops off, the enemy will fire away at us with those handguns, though by the looks of it, they're targeting the War Sphinx, which might not work out so well. Alright, now we have no easy way to go after the enemy pistoliers at any rate, because there's no real way we could chase them down, so we're going to back off. and allow our artillery to take care of those units while we switch positions and instead move towards the other side and all of those units therein. And there we go. Our artillery will start firing on the enemy range units while we take up position to protect it. And the Scorpions snip away at those poor Imperial infantry. They may be halberds, but I don't think they're going to have a good time here at all. And of course our Scorpions have been buffed up now, and let's see what we're at here. Weapon strength is at plus 45 bonus versus infantry. Pretty darn solid. And yeah, since this is a Scorpion army, most likely we'll give the banner of withering to the Scorpions here as well. Get them all armor sundering, and that little extra bit of armor to make them even tankier as well. Make them even more annoying is what I'm getting at. Alright, and the War Sphinx Riding Lord, of course, closes the distance. Again, the most appropriate of the lords to have a little scorpion helmet on his War Sphinx. And I guess the scorpion tail on the War Sphinx works fairly well for this as well. Alright, well, the enemy has closed the distance with Empire Knights, some more halberds, and some swordsmen, I believe, but I don't imagine that's going to do too well, of course, especially since the Tomb Guard have now joined the Scorpions. And whether the enemy meet their end at the hands of these... Wait a moment. I was just taking a look at the stinger slash the tail of the Scorpions. So the stinger is a face of a... it's like a skull face, and then the stinger itself is the beard. That's kind of neat. I like that. Great design. Anyway. Too bad we can't have sort of scorpion stinger-shaped halberds to work with this army, but just imagine it for me, guys. Alright, and it looks like those units are pretty much overrun. Another unit of swordsmen has joined the fray, and there are some enemy range units that are ready to help out. The Pistoliers, I'm sure, will book it on out of there, but the crossbows won't be firing off too many shots as our monsters close the distance again. There we go. How's Volkmar doing in the meantime? He seems to be hanging out in the center, the key building, key location, whatever. We have continued to sort of hold position with our Tomb Guard while we lay down a little bit of fire from Greater Bonebow and the Bones of Lovelock and make sure that none of the enemy range units can fire back, while all the enemy infantry and others that we can catch here are torn apart over on the left flank. Hoping to get Volkmar to actually come out here and play, but at the end of the day, if all his army dies, we'll still eventually close the distance with him. It's inevitable, so he might as well come forth. Ah, look at all those poor infantry that get sent flying by the Scorpions. It's pretty darn effective. And the beard stinger still tremendously amuses me. Well, the stingers almost kind of remind me of the xenomorph face as well, especially with the sort of long, I don't know, skull helmet thing that we got going here. You know what I mean? Like this thing? I wonder if there's some variance between the stinger faces as well, because you know how some units have a variety among them. But anyway, I digress. The unit of swordsmen is done, the crossbows are done, though it looks like a few units have come back. I'd wager they won't be back here for long. On the other side of the map, a crossbow unit has moved to take the place of the handgunners that were previously here and firing away at our bone giants and screaming skull catapults, but unfortunately for them, they have achieved nothing and got obliterated in the same manner. Alright, Mount's power has shifted to about 75, maybe 85% in our favor, really. And at this point, we're just trying to catch whatever units we can. The Pistoliers, of course, are still being annoying, but what can you do? I'm going to speed it up a teensy bit while we wait for more units to close. And, oh, clicked the wrong thing. And it looks like some Wardens of the West and the remnants of the Empire Knights go for another desperate charge, but the Scorpions may be anti-infantry, but they can certainly handle basic sorts of cav like this without too much trouble. And even if they couldn't, we have the Tomb Guard with the halberds right behind them. Fantastic. Alright, and it looks like Volkmar is moving at last, coming out of the center of the enemy settlement. And let's see where he goes. His knights and yeomen have been torn to shreds, and did you see that? He went like this, and then he was like, you know what? No, I'm not going this way. I'm going this way. And you know what? Fair enough. I guess he wants to move towards the piles of infantry and stay away from the Scorpions and the War Sphinx, which, you know, you would too, so anyway. We're going to have to block him off with our unit of Tomb Guard, but that's very dangerous because Volkmar has that, I think it's called Greater, is it? Or Grand Soulfire. That he has available to him, and I think it's on a short cooldown or shorter cooldown as well, delivering 6,000 damage to a single unit of Tomb Guard with a single use. Pretty darn solid. Maybe not exactly 6,000, he also used his banishment on one of these guys and might have clipped them. But yeah, these guys dropped by about 50% of their HP. Oh well. If Volkmar wants to fight out there, we're going to make sure that the Scorpions close the distance with the Pistoliers that were with him, but otherwise clear the path for the War Sphinx to get ready to move towards the enemy. And yeah, that's another Soulfire. That's a cooldown on this thing. Cooldown 30 seconds? Oh wow, okay, no wonder. Second use sees this unit of Tomb Guard down to about 25% of its HP, and we're going to have to back off, but fortunately, we have made our way forward with the Sphinx, which towers over that War Altar of Sigmar. Rather than allowing Volkmar to chase the Tomb Guard, we're going to block him off with that Bone Giant, who similarly towers. And though these guys aren't all that great in melee, they do still hit for 400 weapon strength, and on top of that, very much of it is armor piercing, and their melee attack at 64 is quite high, so they're still very much dangerous here. And yeah, if we have time to spare, I want to build an army with tons and tons of skeleton archers, and then some more of the bone giants. Really, I just really enjoy watching the bone giants do their thing. Not quite as much as Sepulchral Stalkers, but it's pretty up there. Good reason I went for Bone Giants and Sepulchral Stalkers when playing Manfred, and interspersing them amongst the Vampire Count's armies. Okay, Bone Giant, please, you're in the way now. You're blocking the Sphinx. Alright, there we go. The Bone Giant will screw off for a little bit as we get a couple more hits onto Volkmar, who is regenerating, but at the same time has reached his healing cap. He'll drop off one last, keep wanting to say Searing Doom, but Grand Soulfire. Not that it'll do anything. Moves away, and the Sphinx will smash into the back of the War Altar of Sigmar, forcing Volkmar to fly over the, sort of over the parapet here, and do a little somersault to the ground below, never to rise again. And there we go with Volkmar's fall. The bounce power shifts to about 95% in our favor. Just a couple more units remaining. A Skullstorm takes care of one last unit of crossbows. And the unit of Pistoliers here gets caught somehow by the Scorpions and the Tomb Guard by getting attacked from two sides at once. And with that, the battle comes to a close. Okay, I can't quite see how much damage we took, but I'm pretty sure we did pretty well. I do like this camp though. This is a pretty, I don't know, pretty neat looking one. Nice little ogre camp with these sort of, I don't know what to call these big old rib things that lead to the, I don't know, presumably this is the hut of the tyrant here. Just trying to get as close to the little hut as possible. And yeah, oh, he's got a little, this is a little throne as well. Yeah, very nice. Very nice settlement, anyway. Alright, there we go. A nice little fight. Would have preferred if the enemy had actually decided to, you know, try to fight us a little bit harder rather than staying back in, you know, abject fear of our units of bone giants and the screaming skull catapults, but all good at the end of the day. And, alright, you have Ouroboros. Occupy. Alright, Order of Lore Masters, the rest Jade. Ooh, yes, lots of mission successfuls. And hey, melee attack and defense for these guys. Huh, actually a decent trait for Settra would have been had we sent Settra down here, but that's probably not going to happen. Anyway, don't collect the income. Temporarily go for the, let's say, growth. And we'll hold on to the Charnel Plaza so we can go down to the Pit of SF and then back up to the Quarry of Bone to take out these ogres. I mean, they don't hate us. We could transfer these territories to them, but I'm not sure I care enough about any ogre units in particular to put into our armies. Yeah. Not super interested. Anyway, let's see what we've got. Building, I guess. 'Tis time once more. A lower Ash River. Ooh, Ash Crossing up to tier 5. Beautiful. And what do we have here? You. And you. Easy upgrades to the ancient stonecraft buildings. Huh, wait. Okay. I was wondering whether Karaga Road was close to tier 4, but not really. So we can just sort of freely ignore that. Blightwater, lots of upgrades to be had here. I guess we'll start with the U. Like so. Easy. We do have plenty of cash, so we don't have to worry too much about the 6 watch forts. Yeah, eventually we'll delete those, well, actual watch forts, as in the defensive buildings, but now is not the time. You're fine. You, Rusty Dagger's Hold. Alright, the Kateb territory, that was tier 5. Keep upgrading the Mortuary Sanctum to tier 5, and frankly, we'll need more of those, so let's go Mortuary Sanctum here. And we can upgrade you. And we can also... oh, we need you to be higher levels before we can upgrade these. Oh, frankly, we might not even need the Eternal Sentinel, so just go for the Hierophant's Bibliotheca. Yeah. The rest of that looks fine to me. Anyway, Bitter Wind. Let's start on those new Pyramidians, needed everywhere after all, and Mountains of Dawn, still holding on. I mean, I guess we could just upgrade you 3, just so I don't have to look at you every turn. And there we go. All of the construct buildings available in the Road of Kings, so we can use it as a secondary recruitment location, should we need one. You can go for a Pyramidian, but otherwise we'll wait because we don't have additional growth. Wait. Can you start collecting income? Not yet, but soon. Oh, right, we're probably going to trade the place. You know what? While we're here, let's just upgrade these and make sure that they're worth more money. Just put more military structures in all of these, even if we aren't using it for ourselves. You can go into Worship of Construction Reduction, get rid of this garbage, and go for the Mortuary Sanctum. And of course, well, I guess we'll wait for the turn to upgrade the mausoleum here, so we'll wait. You are able to collect income now, so you're good. And this is Doom Mountain, eh? Now with the rats gone, you no longer have any requirement for, okay, keep these, but no longer have requirement of the defenses. Don't need the Royal Menagerie, or the Chariot Building, or the Growth Building here. The other stuff we'll get rid of as we go. Alright, you will continue waiting for growth as much as possible. Amber Skull, I'm still on the fence about you, so just sit there. Might trade you, might not. House of Everlasting Life, yes, we can upgrade you immediately, and then upgrade you to the next level next turn, and keep the Charnel Plazas for faster movement for Khalida next turn. Let's start with Jillik Oasis. Oh wait, no, we already have the Parched Oasis. Alright, fine. Main settlement it is then. And I guess temporarily get the growth structures until we can get rid of them as we build more of those lovely Pyramidians. Speaking of, Cliffs of Dawn, that's going to be you, plus a treasure tomb, and then lastly, Devil's Fort we can ignore. Yes. Alright, looks like an unturned to me. So skip, wait, did I move Scout? Yes, I did. Alright. Skip, and mission check. No missions. And turn. Alright, Keepers of Bliss destroyed, 1,000 Maws destroyed. Oh wow, I was actually... who the heck destroyed 1,000 Maws? That's interesting. Confederation between Talzin and Sithrall, and we got the ancient battle sites up and running. I don't dislike the missile block chance for the Casket of Souls. And when mounted. Oh, okay, so that's for Katep as well. I was like, what the heck are you talking about? Missile infantry recruited, great, free canopic jars. We got another Charnel Valley Necrotect, and King Yanhanza has got a skeleton chariot. I don't know who King Yanhanza is. Is that this guy? No, that's Sehaket. Who the heck is King Yanhanza? Huh, weird. Might be one of our lords that is, you know, sitting on the sidelines. Anyway, what do we got next? Perfect Vigor for the Scorpions does tempt me, not gonna lie, but I think first we'll start with the additional missile strength for the artillery pieces, since we're using them a fair bit. Also, did I give the chariot thing to the chariot guy? I gotta double check. I'm pretty sure I did, but I, you know, sometimes lose track and all that. Alcazar, did you get the Herald of Zandri? No, you did not. Aha! Alright. Nearly played myself. At least I know to mistrust myself enough to actually go back and check. Fantastic. You're not able to reach Mork's Club, are you? You are not. Settra is able to. The only annoying thing is that they might move southward from Cradtoman and move towards us. Who are they fighting, incidentally? They're fighting the Keepers of the Mountain. Well, let's hope we can deal with it. We are going to take the money from the Keepers of the Mountain for ourselves. Oh! Huh. These guys are alive by taking the Sour Bay. That's fantastic. Skullcrag. Yes, we could move past them, but we're not going to. Join war. Our vassals can hold these little mountain realms. Settra, go for Mork's Club, and Alcazar, you can reinforce. Hello. What do we have in terms of defenses? I mean, they have some stuff. Is it worth fighting with Settra, though? It's not going to be a crazy fight. Pyrrhic victory, no problem with Settra alone, much less the Second Army to reinforce. I guess we'll decide by virtue of whether the Second Army, go right here, whether the Second Army will get any auto-resolve pains. It shouldn't, in theory, but in practice, we're about to find out. Close victory now, medium casualties. Now we'll be fine. Alright, we'll just auto-resolve this. We are heading to that big old fight against the other bookholder army. Okay, I don't know what name that bookholder army has, but I would like to find out. You, Great Dynasties, channel a little bit more. And otherwise we're okay. And we're very close to it. Beautiful. You can go northward from this. And don't collect the income here, obviously, but you can immediately upgrade the Mastaba. Alright, next up we got Panat. You are headed towards the Library of Horeptus, which you cannot reach in one bound, meaning you are going to, channel as you travel. Wait, what's your mana at? You're fine. Alright, just go into Great Dynasty stance, but don't trespass in Cult of Mordig territory. Alright, like this. And then like this. Alright. You will get us, hopefully, some of those Karen Wraiths and stuff we want. Hakor, you have a long way to go. Oh, these guys won't like us trespassing, will they? And they won't give us military access, huh? Alright, I guess you're gonna have to go through the... Oh man, you're gonna have to cross back into the swamp like this, aren't you? Man, maybe we should just trespass. It's gonna be annoying to deal with it. Alright, fine. Just trespass then. Whatever. All good. 'Tis necessary. If it wasn't for the fact that we wanted to trade giant stomping grounds from these guys, I would have already, minus 61, good lord, I didn't know that they disliked us so much. Oh wait, no, that was somebody else. Still, minus 20 isn't great. You know what? Payments, offer payment, small gift. There you go, that'll counteract it. Because we want them as vassals. I'm not sure that we care about any of their units to be, I don't think. Well, maybe Luminarchs with an army with the light and stuff. There's potential for that. Anyway, Wakaf, you are going to besiege the Portal of Twilight now, which is at tier 5, and lovely. And, ooh, Burning Chariots, Flamers? Yes, this is gonna be a fight. You are going to besiege this, and we are definitely fighting that one. I'm excited. That's certainly, with all those flame units that we're extremely vulnerable to, going to be a potentially dangerous fight for Wakaf, which is what I like to see. Wakaf, do we need anything here? You don't have a casket, so this is useless. I guess we just max out Stone Sentinels for the Sepulchral Stalkers. Necrotect? I guess we could just go towards True Grandmaster now. Let's grab, oh, you know what? Let's grab We Are the Elite. A little bit of resistance to those flames, right? And then here there is nothing, so we just need to pick one at random. Empower the Titans, whatever, so that we can get into a true Grandmaster. Lich Priest of Nehekara. You know what? Against the Burning Chariots, we might actually need a combination of Usirians and Patras. The Overcast variant gives a greater effect on speed, but let's see. Gives no additional damage, meaning it's useless, so we'll do this. Like so. We're going for now Onslaught, but I think it'll be worth it. Alright, Wakaf, you're about to have some fun. Alright, Rakash, you are still here waiting for that recruitment. Did we declare war on you yet? 5 turns, alright, getting there. Still a little bit, but that's alright. These guys are gaining XP and we have to wait for the recruitment anyway. Including for our Carrion and the Tomb Fleet Army. Global recruitment, that'll be for Lamazage, so I can't use it on you. Alright, Scorpion King, are you, yes, able to reach the Pit of Asaf? With, by the looks of it, the last territory belonging to these guys. Well, technically that's the last territory up there. Anyway, auto-resolve A, an auto-resolve that actually works for the Scorpion Army. Still damaging them unnecessarily, but the Banner of Eternal Flame will work nicely for another one of our armies. Beautiful. And we still need banners for you, but, you know, the Canopic Jars are pretty critical right now. Wakaf. Wait, no, I already selected you. Thotep. You are heading southward, so land, and then you're going all the way to Qatar, and hopefully... Wait, 2 turns? Whoa, 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 what the heck is this? No, 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 no. I screwed it up. Screwed everything up. Alright, let me just unscrew you. We are going to want... Maybe we should start going through the Tomb Prince buffs, because we are about to recruit a bunch of Tomb Princes. Yeah, alright, fine. Patronage of Wakaf, yes. Absolutely Patronage of Wakaf. That's the one I'd pick. Anyway, the High Queen Khalida. You got one more settlement to take, which you can just reach by the looks of it. And then you'll go back to this place, which will hopefully grow reasonably quickly so that we can recruit what we need here. Oh, you can maybe visit the Quarry of Bone, get a fight out of you. You haven't fought ogres after... Oh, right, the stupid tomb bark, stupid dying every stupid time. Why do you hate me, game? Okay, well, I guess we'll do the same thing with this one, then. Super quick manual fight. I wish I could do something about it, guys. I was praying that there was a mod that would let us basically auto-win and auto-resolve. Like, you click a button and it, like, auto-wins it for you without damaging your units for the times when you know that the auto-resolve is being ridiculous, but I don't think there is such a mod. At least I've looked for it a number of times and I haven't found one, so what can you do? Alrighty, this is a big enough army that I think we need the healing first, so let's do that real quick. Start battle. Alright. Necrotects, do your restorations. Like so, like so, like so. Prep for the battle. Not that the battle itself is going to last too long. Alright, and then... Yeah, Necrotect indeed. Khalida, go out front. What are you? Tomb Prince. Okay, you can go with this army, I guess. Alright, Bone Giant, go kill... I don't know, what is out here? We have a mortar. Yeah, go kill the mortar, why not? Also, do we have any handguns here? No. No handguns. It's more critical that we kill off the range units then, so do that. Alright, Khalida, let's make you and the first snakes group 1. You can be group 2. And you can be group 3, you can be group 4, you can be group... I probably should have done that in a slightly different way, but whatever. You can be group 5. I can never... Okay, there we go. Keyboard's kind of screwy with the control button. Not much I can do about it, though. Alright, listen out right now. You guys go here, you guys go here, you guys go forward, you guys go forward, and speed it up to max, so we're just about ready to go. Alright, Khalida, charge on forward. Frankly, you might not even need to attack the Immortar. Go attack the Wardens of the West. Or actually, no, you know what? Go for the Grand Cauldron Regulars. Probably a better use of our time. Khalida, charge on through to the crossbows. Maybe dodge a few arrows while you're at it. Alrighty, get ready to Venom Wave and pop. Perfect. And charge on through. Sacral Serpent's on top of you. Beautiful. Khalida, go kill the General. You, go after the other range units. You guys charge on through. You can ignore, hopefully, the general and go after the enemy range units. While Khalida deals with that, activate your Tomb Strike. You are not in the ideal position, sir. Go non-overcast. Alright, otherwise, let's move on through again. Go, go, go. Not the Sacral Serpents. Well, actually, stay fighting those range units. Khalida, go kill the general. Do we need to activate anything on you? I don't think so. Where are our other units? Okay, you guys don't even really need to participate. I was expecting other enemy range units to move on in, but you're fine by the looks of it. Alright, and then go back through. Khalida, I'd speed it up, but, you know, if we actually stop moving, our units will take damage because they're, they have some potential for, you know, being fragile at times. Alright, you guys kill all this. Move on in. Alright, Venom Knights, charge on through. Khalida, how have you not killed the general yet? Come on. Alright, Venom Knights, go after those Grand Cauldron regulars, and okay, oh, arrow coming in. Oh, this is gonna hurt. Did that just kill off one of our guys? No, but it did damage him, so let's turn away. Alright. Enemy general is out. There is still a captain. You guys surround him. You guys move on in and speed it up, and the battle should be over any second now. There we go. Alright. Again, auto-resolve being absolutely ridiculous. And the most damage was on the Lich Priest, because admittedly, while doing it at max speed, slash a giggle, I allowed him to get close to the Wardens of the West rather than casting the Skullstorm and then backing off, which I had originally intended. Alright. And we'll actually fight the ogres because they'll have the garrison and like a stack and a half out there, so possibly 2 or a little bit more stacks, so worthy of Khalida's attention. Plus she's got to finish up here and get ready to head north to fighting Arbol and Khorne, which will be pretty darn interesting. At least I think. Well, plus, you know, vassalize Imric. Alright, I'd like to vassalize more Cathayan factions, but I don't think we have the option to do so. Anyway, there we go with that. Cult of Sigmar is destroyed. Golden Plain is now ours. Ooh, we got medicinal herbs here as well, which is one we're missing. I think we have one in the... we have one in the... Oh, wow, you can already collect income here. Good. In the swamp, so we wouldn't be keeping it anyway. Anyway. Yeah, this looks like it'll be worthy of our attention. Good. Alright. And hopefully by the time we've taken them out and then moved back to Lamia, Lamia will have been able to be built up to the ruined Hekarn Citadel and the ancient battle site and allow us to build what we need to build here. Alright. King Wakov. Wait, now you're besieging. Who's next? Alamazash. Alright, so you are going to take control of the global recruitment for a turn or two. 1, 2 melee, and 1 range. Lovely. And I'll put you at 18 out of 20. 19 once a cat gets here. Go and land here quick as you can, and get ready to move on into the army. Then we'll attack the Norskins, trade their territory to the lizards, and hopefully thereby confederate them as well. I do want access to Coatl. Flying snakes and all that. Might even put them in Khalida's army, because, you know, flying snakes and all of that. Jocht, you are heading down to... Oh! Huh, these guys took Brittle Peaks. Although, admittedly, we were going to have to... we let them keep it? Because we were going to attack them here. You know what? I think we're actually going to need you to sit here in Ashmere, and we're going to have to rebuild the defenses, because as soon as we declare war on these guys, assuming that their armies march towards this direction, that could potentially be an issue. I think it would take them too long to march through Oasis of Blood. So yeah. That's just his purpose for now. Anyway, Prince Scout, go find the Ice Court. I just want to identify all the factions around here. And otherwise, unless I'm mistaken, all we gotta do is a quick little Necrotect check and go for building in the next turn it. Alright, Necrotect, another Genius Architect, which is great, but not what we're looking for right now, and we can ignore the rest. So, building. And then we can end the turn and fight that lovely Tzeentch fight. Ooh, tier 5 Undead Fleet Port, yes please, considering we're gonna get a Tomb Fleet army. Grand Pyramid, yes. Do we have the... No, okay, we need the Hidden Sanctum here. And we are no longer in need of additional revered mausoleums, unless I'm mistaken. Alright, okay, let me just double check capacities real quick. And what do we have here? Scorpions, Ushapti are fine. Necrosphinxes 3 out of 17. Higher Titans, yeah, I think we're fine. Yeah, we no longer need those. We'll never run out of capacity at this point. We won't, well, not enough armies and all that. Let's build a, I don't know, start with the Ruined War Sphinx Shrine, then we'll do the next one next time. Alright, buildings to be builded. Like so, easy. Still have a fair chunk of change in next turn. I believe we'll be able to raise another army, which will speed up matters in sending them out and hunting down the rest of those books. Can't be ending the campaign without them after all. And got a fair bit of work to do to get the rest. World's Edge Foothills, Rusty Dagger's old refurbished workshop, and we need the Hidden Sanctum here. Might as well just upgrade both of you. Like so. What do we need here? Oh, we'll need another Pyramidion, but here we're free to go for the Undead Quarrymen. Alright, looks good to me. Southern World's Edge? Alright, this place. I mean, while we're in this location, we should probably keep the funerary districts, but for now, at least we can start on the Pyramidions. Pyramidion here, Pyramidion here, and I believe that's it, at least with regards to what we can build here. I'm just tempted to upgrade these just so I don't have to look at them every turn. Just yeah, there you go. I mean, it's not like it's going to change the... well, I guess this one should be deleted because we're going to... yeah. The rest are fine, though. Alright, 6 watch forts. Are you now safe? I mean, with the... Call the Sigmar dead, I think you're actually free to get rid of these now. Lovely. And do we have any here defenses? No. Do we have any here defenses? No. Do we have any here? No. And this was the place that I deleted the defenses. Here we're actually going to have to keep because there's a decent likelihood that we need to take Mahrak in order to get a special unit, a Legion unit, and therefore we're going to have to just leave it alone. Alright. Doom Mountains, we've already checked you. I don't know why I'm looking at you again. Golden Lotus Ruins are waiting for next turn. Bitter Wind. What do we have here? Alright, sounds like Faded Pyramidions to me. Here, here, and here. You two can be gotten rid of, you can be gotten rid of, and you can be gotten rid of. Yes. Alright, Mountains of Dawn, still holding on. The Ushabti building will complete this particular location. And I guess we'll stay in Worship of Construction Reduction. I mean, it'll give us additional money making and all that after all. Yeah. Alright, Sour Crags, what do we have? Skull Crag? Yeah. Nothing else to build right now anyway. Cursed City, wait. Can we collect income here? No. Cursed City, not yet. But getting there. Mahraki Desert. Might trade you, might not, so build the military structure for now, but ignore it otherwise. Mount Bloodhorn, you're in the same exact situation. East Badlands. You can, I believe, start collecting income now. And we can keep on building those Pyramidions. Do we need the defenses at Bloodspike Mesa? I don't believe we do. Now let's just hope that these guys aren't here with a full stack to jump down and attack. But if they are, well, then I will suffer for it. Alright, there we go. Good, and delete, and delete, delete. Perfect. Oh, actually, wait, do we want to keep the public order building for one more turn to make sure that you go max out? Yeah, let's do that. But delete the growth buildings. Alright, Dust Road, you will need to upgrade Jaluk Oasis. And otherwise, we've got nothing to be building. Cliffs of Dawn, go for the Crumbling Temple, and then, of course, the Treasure Tomb, which is what we like to build in these places. Devil, wait, can we collect income here? Yes, we can. Not that there's much. Pit of Asaph, might as well upgrade you. And we'll keep the Charnel Plaza in terms of needing it to move. These places, yes, we are upgrading because they will hopefully be worth more for the trading. Like so, like so, like so. And, okay, I'm just going to upgrade these so that, wow, 1,000 gold, never mind. I was gonna say I'm gonna upgrade them so I don't have to look at them every turn, but that's, yeah, not worth it. Alright, looks good to me. Let's end the turn. Let's allow those Tzeentchans to sally out. Wait, actually. Let's do a quick Tzeentch check. In case there's more Tzeentchans to declare war upon. Okay, no, it looks like we're good. I'm very excited about this army. You know what? Maybe it is time to give walk. Well, yeah, you know what? Screw it. I want to. Let's go for weapons. Let's go for the Blade of Antarhak. Unfortunately, no magical damage on it, but, you know, what can you do? And then we'll pop on into your pile of There we go. Now you have the Blade of Antarhawk, which will give you the hunger and a little bit of healing, because you're not using regen. Yes, we will give him regen, just not right now. I'm gonna say the Necrotect can hold on to the Brass Cleaver. Yeah, we have another Fencer's Blades. Kotep's using one. Go figure. Helm of Discord, would that be useful in this army? No, you know what, maybe in the Charioteer army. In fact, Walkoff already has one. Yeah, I'll take another look at these. It's just that most of these items are going to be replaced by items that we're ourselves going to just get out of the Mortuary Cult, which is why I'm not super concerned about them. Brass Cleaver. Alright. End the turn. Wait, did I do a mission check? I'm going to assume I did. Alright, there we are. As expected, these guys will sally out. They have, oh right, the Rhythm of Immortality. Now that can be quite useful. It's invulnerability for 30 seconds, plus melee damage reflection. Definitely going to watch out for it. Otherwise, I think it'll be a great fight. Go. Alrighty, here we go. Destroy, or at the very least try to. Round 2 against Tzeentch should prove significantly more difficult than round 1 did, as we have all of those enemy flamers. I think 6 or so, 5 or 6 of the different flamer variants. I saw one Exalted, the 2 units of Burning Chariots, the regular flamers, and all that. Plus, on top of that, the Exalted Pink Horrors everywhere, applying Banish, Miscast, Physical Resistance, Spell Resistance, and a fairly solid missile damage as well. Anyway, we start the battle off trying to knock out the enemy Herald of Tzeentch. We do get charged for our trouble, but it is worth it, as with sustained fire, the Herald goes down. We do take a massive amount of damage to one of the units of Sepulchral Stalkers, and the entire army is now going to back off towards the Tomb Guard, and just make some distance between us, or put some distance between us and the forces of the enemy, as that is a lot of range firepower. And unlike the player, when the player uses Tzeentch, is likely to run into the, units don't fire bug, I feel like that's probably not going to happen to the enemies, so we're just going to have to deal with all that range. And to do so, we're going to summon a unit of skeleton warriors to get in the way of the enemy Centaurs and spawn, and instead do our best to target those flamers of various kinds. It looks like it's going to be a little bit of range fire exchange, but the flamers are extremely fragile, and they can't, especially after their barrier drops, take too many of those shots. There we go. Down goes the first unit of flamers, and now we switch to the second, which is still more or less at full HP and is getting those flames at the Sepulchral Stalkers, but fortunately without the fire weakness on them, and them not being infantry, they are not quite as susceptible to this type of damage as our Tomb Guard would otherwise be, who are currently sort of sitting in the center of our formation. Big old volley from a pile of pink horrors comes down on the Eyes of the Desert, who lose about 40% of their HP, but at the same time we switch fire from most of our cavalry, our skeleton horse archers, to one of the burning chariots, and in combination with another unit of the Sepulchral Stalkers, they do manage to bring it down. Alright, time to switch to the second. All of our skeleton horse archers, their damage once again is pretty lackluster compared to, sort of non-basic cav, but they've served us very well over the course of this campaign in Walkoff's army. It's been a really nice composition, and I've been very happy with it. It never feels too overpowered, and you always have to work for your victories, but it is a very solid composition that can do a lot. Anyway, with that, the burning chariots are out, the exalted flamer of the enemies remains, and Walkoff is sort of just breaking through the enemy lines to move towards it. There he goes. And it looks like the exalted flamer is going to just be trying to run away from him, which, fair enough. Hey, alright, pink horrors attempt to get in the way, but we'll charge them to make sure they don't get into Walkoff's way. Looks like the burning chair, or the exalted flamer rather, and gets a shot off. And oh wow, that Usirian's did like no damage to it whatsoever. And the barrier at 2000 just completely negates it completely. Anyway, looks like an enemy cultist will get in Wakov's way, but that's a bad idea, man. He's defeated much tougher things than you. It is going to allow the Exalted Flamer to get a few extra shots up, but by the looks of it at the cost of the cultist, who takes about a quarter of his HP with every blow from Wakov. Besides, the Exalted Flamers are very fragile in melee, and we will close the distance with the Eyes of the Desert as well, who admittedly are down to like 30% of their HP. Another one of our Spokal Stalkers here, and down to about 50% of theirs. And while the damage to some of our units may be severe, the Sepulchral Stalkers at least have not lost a lot of models, so should we finish up in the same manner, they should recover to full or close to full in terms of their HP. Wakov has sent that cultist packing, and similarly, with the help of the Eyes of the Desert, and the Exalted Flamer goes down. Their last hope, having been destroyed, Tzeentch is done for. His cultist and will attempt to flee, only to get pincushioned by the Skeleton Horse Archers. There we go. And, oh wow, they really like shooting him in the foot, apparently. Alright, and by the looks of it, we should, thanks to the speedy nature of this particular army, be able to chase down every single thing and take the Gate of Twilight, or whatever the hell this thing is called, for ourselves. Very, very nice work, as always. Alrighty, another magnificent fight for King Wakov, and though it doesn't look like we took a lot of damage, you can tell by some of the units being hurt, like the Necrotect and the Lich Priest of Nehekara, how much damage our Spokal Stalkers were taking. A lot of them were around or below half HP, just that they weren't losing their models and thus recovered to full. Obviously, the Burning Chariots of Tzeentch and the Flamers, generally speaking, were all pretty dangerous, and while we focused them down, we were getting hosed down by the flames of the Exalted Pink Horrors, of which the enemy had a lot. Pretty darn elite Tzeentch stack. Good for them, especially considering most of Wakov's army is made up of tier 2 stuff. I think even Tomb Guard are a tier 2 unit, so yeah, not like we have elite infantry with the Tomb Kings. Damage wise, at 13.5k, it's the Sepulchre Sentinels, living up to their name and matching some of the Sepulchral Sentinels, of whom the Snaky Snakes and the Eyes of the Desert took home the prize. Good for them all. Alright, and we will occupy the place. Alright, Confederation, Blooded Wanderers, and Unfettered Fury, victory over Tzeentch and the Portal of Twilight, as well as the Cult of Mirrors destroyed. Sons of the Mountain destroyed as well. Oh no! They took it before we got there. Well, that's unfortunate. How are we gonna deal with that now? I don't like that at all. I guess we could attack them and destroy their armies here, which will weaken them, although Panet's gonna have a difficult time. Damn, I should have expected them to have moved there. Yeah, that was my mistake. I should have just marched stanced all the way over here, and heedless of the fact that we were trespassing in their territory. Alright, well, I guess the only thing to do is attack them, and, well, if they are willing to become our vassals, great, and if they're not, we just kill them all. That seems up Settra's alley. King Minkaus has Skeleton Chariot, King Agatep. Okay, are these? Minkaus and Agatep, yeah. Maybe they were from, I was wondering whether they were from Kotep. Actually, speaking of Kotep, 3 turns. Yes, this is the time that they would come up, because they'd be wounded for 5 turns, while Kotep wounded for 8. Perhaps? Anyway, this place is going to have to be defensive, as it is the Portal of Twilight. Now, I would like to see... Okay, no new missions, and we just upgrade that, but I would also like to... Wait. Other than the mission check, we gotta do a Tzeentch check. Always do the Tzeentch checks, and any new Tzeentch infections? No, not right now. Minus 683, yeah, they not the most fond of us, admittedly. You... can get rid of the growth building, I guess. And don't collect the income. We can get rid of the scorpion nest and hopefully replace it with a nastier defensive structure. Now, this place provides 2 Spokewell Stalkers into 2 Necropolis Knights. That's pretty solid. I think we will indeed use you to help defend the place. The garrison's going to be pretty nasty. We could probably still build the Pyramidion here if we get it to tier 5, as in the settlement. Anyway, how are we for raising a new army? Just a little bit short of the Canopic Jars. Alright, so we should have it available next turn, though we gotta keep at least like 300 or so. For obvious reasons, you are going to proceed in Great Dynasty stance. We will go to Sour Bay, and then we will head for Mortgan Wrathbringer of Haskinesh. That's got some good stuff. The Marauder is obviously not going to be super concerning. Aspiring Champions, Dragon Ogre Giant, and all that. Pretty nice. I think, funnily enough, the Lamazash's army probably fought the toughest of those armies. Anyway, Alcazar, you are free to go off on your own now. Head to Dringo Karez, and we'll see about Crad Tommen after. There's also rats all over this place, so we gotta be careful about that. Alright, Pyrrhic Victory, and it'll kill off on it. Really? This? Alright, I might fight this between the episodes if I remember, because it feels like a waste of our time. Panet. You might attack. Let me just give that some thought. Hakor, you are going to go to the orcs. It's going to take a little bit. And Wakaf, you... I mean, we could immediately besiege Heavenward Halls. You're at full HP. And the main issue here is this. If we fight... You know what? Wait here. Because if we fight these guys and they refuse, we're going to have to take 9 or whatever settlements that they have. And that's a lot of settlements, to be fair. And thus we may have to move Walkoff to attack them before going to the 9th library. So just wait a little bit. Alright, then, oh, I got a new tech. Let's just keep going through these, the Tomb Princes, and at the same time start building them, because you're going to be where you need to be before you know it. Palace of Dusk, do we have a... but now we don't have the type that we need. Well, we'll get that type eventually. Hopefully. Frankly, you should be able to take the settlement without the need for the additional Tomb Prince anyway, so I'm not, you know, super worried about it. To be real. Anyway, Khalida, you are proceeding to move towards the ogres, and I'm gonna say proceeding to do so in march stance. Fast as you can. That one we will fight, so once we get there, that is. And hey, who knows, maybe they'll preemptively declare war on us and attack us. I've seen the AI do that previously, so why not? It's a possibility. Jocked, I would like you to set up right here in ambush stance. And see what happens at a Brittle Peaks. Aha! Where are your 2 armies going is my question. Alright, well, Josh, you're gonna have a difficult time defending with just giant piles of spears, so be careful, bud. Otherwise, I think that's all. Alright, so Scout. Keep looking for Kislev. We'll do the building, and then I guess we've no choice in the matter. We are indeed going to... Okay, I've lost my location. Down here. Going to attack these guys. Not like we can avoid it right now. Wait, what about you? Why didn't I move you? Oh, if we need to take Mahrok, we'll need to attack these guys as well. And oh, I guess we'll need to move up towards this location, although we could move Khalida there. You know what, move down up here. Move down up here. Let's see what happens. Again, I don't know whether Mahrok will actually provide us a special location, but if it does, we'll probably want it for ourselves. And ooh, oh my. 4 armies here, eh? I wonder what's in those armies, because we're gonna struggle if it's like tons and tons of bow shabti and stuff like that. Might actually want to wait for another army to move on in. Well, we do have other armies around. We'll see. We can also wait in theory, but anyway, let's do those buildings. Lower Ash River. Let's max out that Hierophant's Bibliotheca. Restored War Sphinx. Good. Here we can go for the refurbished workshop. Upper Ash River. Yes to the tier 5, please. A Red Cloud Mountain. We've got the upgrades for those ancient architecture buildings. Another tier 5. Good. Crystal Coast. What do we have here? More Golden Age monuments, wouldn't you know it? A tier 5 Grand Pyramid, and here we will need another one of these little pyramidions. You can be now deleted, and I guess your public order is fine, so you can be deleted as well. Province nearly complete. And, we're done with the Pyramidians here as well. Alright, well, start with those... Well, start with the Hidden Sanctum. You can build a lone column, and then you can build your Undead Quarrymen, I guess. We can actually build the basic Hidden Sanctums everywhere as well. In theory. I will think about it. Eventually, we won't need the lone columns, but I might be too lazy to go through all of them and delete them. And there's certainly potential for laziness there. A Crumbling Temple either way, and Crumbling Temple, and I think it's now time to get rid of these. You will be able to build your Undead Quarrymen. We can upgrade the defenses here in case we need them. Here, we cannot build anything as yet, so we'll ignore you. Alright, Golden Plain, what do we have here? Pyramidian, go figure. And, oh, actually, no, Pyramidian, I lied. We could upgrade you first and then the Pyramidian second, so we can ignore the rest. I guess we can get the growth thing for now. Until it's deleted at any rate. And what's this place called? Golden Plain, where are you? Okay, so Mountains of Dawn ignored, Eastern Badlands. We'll go for that Crumbling Temple. Actually, probably would have been better to upgrade the other one first. So you out, you in. Undead Quarryman, good. That was Eastern Badlands. Next up we have Bitter Wind. Another Undead Quarryman, and we'll upgrade... Well, you're already at Tier 2, so we can upgrade you to Tier 2 now. Definitely go for the Lone Column, and then you can go for the Undead Quarryman. And Lone Column as well. Lovely. Cliffs of Dawn, you will get your last building in the form of this Mortuary Sanctum, and you're done. Although with the... wait, +4? I thought our technology was giving a +2 from this, not a +4. It's kind of annoying. I guess we've no choice then. You're going to have to switch to Worship of Asaph to counteract the corruption. Well, what can you do? Misty Mountain, are you good? I think you are good. Let's start with those Pyramidians, shall we? In fact, we will start it right here. And the follow-up right here as well, meaning we can delete you and you. Dust Road. It's Pyramidian time. In it always. And, oh, actually, no, it isn't. I lied. We gotta... Of course. Make me look like a fool again. We gotta build up the main building there. You're fine, but we can keep upgrading you for, hopefully, trading. Lamia, keep growing. As you are. Oh, we can, in fact, temporarily build you for the additional growth. And build you because we need you. Alright, Devil's Backbone. Devil's Fort, you're fine as you are because we need the additional movement until we don't. Amber Skull, you're in the same situation, and then Dragonhorn Mines, you are going to be upgraded further until we can use you to vassalize these guys. But also trade with this stuff. It's a whole thing. We'll deal with it. Because we want both of these vassals, but we need a building beside or territory beside these guys in order to get that vassalage going. And yeah. Anyway, skip. But not end turn because we got a little fight ahead of us. So that's you, Panat. You've got a heck of a fight ahead of you, sir. Do we move on in here? I guess we do, and allow these guys to come in as reinforcements. I don't know if you can win this, but you're gonna give it your all. Give it the old college try. Reanimate. Ooh, one short of resurrect. That would have been really helpful here. Let's upgrade the Ushabti with Great Bow via the... 12 weapon strength versus unfading memory. 10 armor, speed, and missile resistance. The missile resistance won't matter for us here. But the armor might. We're gonna really have to hold the line, won't we? Yeah, fine. We'll go for unfading memory. And hopefully these guys will be strong enough to hold back the massive hordes of enemies. We're probably gonna have to box up. Not much of a choice in the matter. And then you have strengthened incantations for the Ushabti. You do still want to empower the Titans. Though, you know what? Let's go 1 point in Empower the Titans and 1 point in the True Grandmaster. And pop on in. You guys are currently at war with... Oh. Swords of Change, which are up here, right? If we declare war on them, Clan Scully will also declare war. The problem with that being that... by virtue of being at war with Scully, these guys will be less friendly with us and thus less likely to become confederated. And nonetheless, no choice in the matter. Either they become our vassals or they die. I just really wanted some of those ghostly units, but what can you do? Come on. Hey, thank you, Skaven. Can always be counted on to be traitorous. Isn't it lovely? Traitorous insight here. Anyway, let's go for all these guys. Alright, they got a big old pile of units, but it looks like... Wait. I think one of their strongest armies is left out of this because, well, they're maxed out at 4 armies, which works for us. Go, go, go. Alrighty, yes indeed. Let's see how we do here. There's a lot of enemies, though on the bright side, the first enemy stack or stacks, the garrison and the army that attacked the settlement, are both damaged, so we can take advantage of that and hopefully dish out a massive amount of hurt. We're going to start the battle off with a quick little charge from our Spokal Stalkers, but we're not going to stay engaged as we haven't had the time to give them their restoration, their healing from the Necrotects, and thus we certainly want them to get to that before they start charging on. And plus, it's not like there's not plenty more enemies where that came from. 2 full stacks coming in as reinforcements after all. Anyway, we start the battle off aside from the charge of the Necropolis Knights with a little bit of pin cushioning from our units of Ushabti with Great Bow. Although I'm not so sure it's going to be pin cushioning if the, Great Bow's arrows are like the size of a person, if not bigger. You just get torn to shreds if you get hit by it, but anyway. Firing away. Ushabti with the faces of the gods there are going to back off now as the enemy has started to close the distance, but the Ushabti have sniped or otherwise severely out. Oh, beautiful. The enemy vampire gets executed, exploding in light as it gets hit by a Shem's burning gaze. Fantastic. And the Hyro Titan, after that show, will back off. Ooh, Hyro Titan looks great against the night sky as well. Well, the Hyro Titan looks great anywhere. Alright, anyway, I'm getting distracted. The enemy lord is also down, unlike the vampire, who was sniped by, I don't know, the Silent Watchers or one of the other units of Ushabti with Great Bow, who have made it back behind our lines. Once again, we do gotta remember that we are fairly severely outnumbered here, so we do gotta be careful about it. And thus are somewhat in a boxy formation, going to do our best to focus down the enemy Graveguard with halberds, while we do as much damage to the skeletons and other types of Graveguard by repeatedly cycle charging them with the Necropolis Knights, making use once again of their mass and their speed to do as much damage as possible without getting bogged down. Especially without Khalida here to buff them. These guys are going to be significantly more fragile. So there's no need to sort of stay in the blob of enemies. First of the other enemies, especially from the second unit of reinforcing, well, the second reinforcing army, or third, whatever, has arrived and have smashed into our left flank. We're going to try our best to have the Ushabti with Great Bow take down the Knights, as well as the Strigoi Ghoul King, who is going to close the distance, but is certainly going to take a Spirit Leech or 2 for his trouble. Oh wow, he's so quick that he, by the looks of it, dodged a fair few of those shots from Ushabti with Great Bow. Good for him. And ooh, the enemy has Spirit Hosts here as well. I was really hoping for some Spirit Hosts and, well, more so Karen Wraiths and amongst a few of our other armies. And we'll still see if we can't vassalize this guy. And if we can't, we can't. Not going to be a big deal. We do have, what, 3 elves under our belt now, and 2 Cathins as well, also Slaneshi Giggle, and the lizards, so we do certainly have options in terms of units. And nice charge from those Black Knights into the midst of our spooky skeletons here, but by the looks of it, the charge itself did relatively little damage, and was stopped in its place thanks to the mass of that tomb bark anchoring the line. And the enemy's right flank has been pretty much obliterated at this point by the Dune Surfers and the other units of Necropolis Knights. But they're going to continue their repeated cycle charging, and without getting bogged down. Enemy Lord heads towards us, taking shot after shot from our Shabti with Great Bow. And the Spirit Leech, of course. He does run towards us pretty darn quick, as he is a vampire, and an SFO they move, well, appropriately quickly. But I don't think he is going to be too much of a match for the Hyro Titan, and after a crushing blow as well as a smack from one of the Ushabti's bows, the enemy lord falls, and I believe the Strigoi has been defeated in a similar fashion. Beautiful. It does look like the enemy is moving a Vargolfin, and we're going to reposition our Shabti with Great Bow to fight it. Our Tombbark has also moved to fight the Spirit Hosts because we have very little magical damage otherwise. Well, the Hyro Titans are magical damage, but something needed to deal with them. And between the magical damage of the Tombbark, plus of course the Khepra Beetle's damage over time, these things should be dropping decently quickly, regardless of the recovery that they have. And of course they're not a particularly damaging unit, so all they can do is mostly pin us in place. There we go, Hyro Titan just moves through the ranks of zombies and... oh, it's so glorious. The laser eye into the blob of zombies and crypt ghouls. I could watch Hyro Titans fight hordes of enemies just all day. I have nothing to... oh, this guy's just spamming laser eyes, too. To just use it like 3 times in a row. Oh, which one is this? This is the Imperishable Effigy. Well, you do good work, sir. Absolutely glorious. Alright, I don't know what's happening to the other portion of the enemy army, but frankly I don't care because that entertained me too much. Let's see, the 4th and final army has arrived and is moving towards us, but is taking a lot of artillery fire and probably a little bit of fire from the units of Ushabti. The Necropolis Knights have been doing great work and have racked up a decent amount of kills and damage. And wherever the enemy fast movers have attempted to close, like the Black Knights and earlier a unit of Direwolves, the Necropolis Knights simply countercharged them and obliterated them. And by the looks of it, with that, the enemy army begins to melt away. Foolishly, they have brought no necromancers, no mortis engines, no corpse carts to support their massive droves of infantry, which is something you absolutely need to do with the vampire counts. Although, admittedly, with the Ushabti with Great Bow in our ranks, they would have sniped the, at the very least, the corpse carts with decent ease. Alright, well, the enemy are just melting away all over the map now, and the battle is very much ours. The star of the show was absolutely the Imperishable Effigy. That was very fun to watch. Oh, Gasket, what are you doing, man? Just, yeah, I'm pretty sure you did more damage to the Nehekaran warriors here than the entire enemy army did. Alright, we're gonna try to heal these guys up a little bit, but damn, Gasket, come on, man. Alright, a few more hits to the enemies as they melt. Frankly, surprising they didn't start melting a little bit earlier, but considering their loss of their lords, but I guess they had sufficient units on the map to just not begin melting all over the place. But it was inevitable, and eventually, look at all the skeletons lying in the sand all over the map. It's a huge, huge pile, and pretty darn distributed as well. Yeah, very, very nice fight. Alrighty, there we go. Always a blast to fight massive hordes of vampire counts. 7.1 thousand enemies obliterated at the cost of 13 units. And, I think 10 of those were a friendly fire incident hitting the Nehekar warriors with our Casket of Souls, so yeah. Anyway, for the Ushabti with Great Bow, it's the Silent Watchers getting the most kills and damage, and the Hyro Titans, it looks like it's the Imperishable Effigy, aptly named, 21,000 damage, and solid damage total's gold value as well, as they were focusing the enemy lords with their Spirit Leeches, in addition to what they were doing. Obviously, solid work out of our various Necropolis Knights, with the Dune Surfers winning in terms of damage dealt. but losing out slightly in terms of kills. And lastly, we got the spooky skeletons, which are about tied with the unnamed unit of Nehekar warriors. Huh. Was I not going to give you a name? I don't remember. Oh, wow. 282 kills and 29,000 damage for the Tomb Guard with halberds. This is pretty impressive. They beat all the golden host of Machrok, which, considering that they have the halberds, is, well, particularly impressive. Occupy. Alright, now I take it that these guys are going to withdraw. Would have been lovely to fight this army right there, but I think it's going to move away as well. Yeah, it'll move. I do wonder whether they will all attempt to move towards us next turn, frankly. Oh, wow, they're not willing to peace out. Huh, interesting. Tremendously interesting. I wanted to allow them to keep Bel-Aliad in particular. Huh, yeah, they're gonna attack us. They've got another pile of units, though I do wonder whether they'll try to head towards Jaluk Oasis. There isn't another army here at Heavenward Halls, rather. Did I do a Tzeentch check? I think I did. Yeah, we'll do it next time. I think this is probably also going to be a good place to call this particular episode here. Next time, most likely, Panet's going to have to fight again against the remnants of these armies plus these two full stacks, but as we've seen, he shouldn't have a problem, and we'll probably move King Wakaf around this way. I was hoping to immediately peace out with them and then trade them the Library of Hereptus for vassalization, but it looks like they're not super wow. Huh. Maybe it won't work. I don't know if the treaties with Blank will disappear or not, because since we forced all of our vassals to fight them, still tempted. On the other hand, they do hold a fair bit of territory here and here, but we have plenty of territory, so I was perfectly happy having these guys as vassals instead. We'll see what happens either way, and continue next time working on the Books of Nagash. One here, one out here that we still have to send an army to, and then Settra should be grabbing this one next episode, which will give us... oh, this is the Sandstorm Attrition one. This is the most useless one, in my opinion. This is the best one, and it's probably the one we'll get the last, funnily enough. And this one's pretty good as well, but also super far from us. All good, though. Working on it, and certainly approaching having of all of them. Stay tuned for more Settra. Don't forget to leave those likes and comments below, as they'll determine the length of the campaign. All glory to the algorithm, and thanks for watching.